Do you all remember? Acha. Okay then, Aliza. Aliza, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Aliza, okay. Name the lobes of the brain, Aliza. Can you name
Frontal bone,
bone or lobes? Huh? Frontal. After that. After that. After frontal, what lobes come? What?
lobe,
Uh,
temporal lobe,
uh. After
optical, occipital lobe,
okay,
and
okay.
parietal.
Parietal. What did you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Parietal. You say
Yes,
parietal.
ma'am. Parietal lobe.
Okay, okay, good. Next, Birgishri. Birgishri. Am I audible, Birgishri?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Birgishri, can you please turn on your video and show me the lobes of the brain? I mean, where is it located, na? Can you please show me? अपना वीडियो टर्न ऑन करके एक बार क्या मुझे दिखा पाओगे कहाँ पे कौन सा लोब है यस बिरगिश्री कैन यू आर यू ट्राइंग क्या तुम कोशिश कर रहे हो या अच्छा अच्छा दिखाओ हाँ फ्रंटल लोब कहाँ पे है फ्रंटल फ्रंटल उसका नाम सुन के ही फ्रंटल फ्रंट मतलब क्या है फ्रंट FRONT फ्रंट FRONT फ्रंट का मतलब क्या है पहले बोलो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फ्रंट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू टेल मी दैट फ्रंट का मतलब अरे यू आर हियरिंग फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम और व्हाट फ्रंट क्या तुम पहली बार सुन रहे हो फ्रंट कैन यू सी मी कैन यू सी मी बिरगिश्री कैन यू सी मी I can't hear your voice. Okay, so this is front, all right? Front. Front का मतलब है आगे. Front means, I mean, at the front means आगे. This is the frontal lobe, all right? Is it clear, Birgishri? Your voice is not audible, but I think you are able to hear me. So this is the front. Other students also, you please see. Huh? I'll ask any one of you. So this is the frontal lobe. Understand? And this is the parietal lobe. You have two. Is it clear now, my voice? Kyoda. Is it still breaking, my voice?
No, ma'am.
No, no. Okay, everyone, you please see to it. Huh? So this is the frontal lobe, front. Understand? And next is what? Next is the parietal lobe. Frontal lobe, you have one. And the parietal lobe, one, two. So two parietal lobe. And next is the occipital. Occipital is here. All right, it's right here at the back. At the back side, you have the occipital lobe. Next is the what? Temporal. So it is here, temporal. It is here. You can even feel your pulse also in your temporal lobe. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Virgishri,
ma'am.
will you be able to show me Virgishri now? क्या तुम मुझे अभी दिखा पाओगे कहाँ पे कौन सा लोब है? फ्रंटल दिखाओ, फ्रंटल। फ्रंटल, अच्छा कितना है फ्रंटल? यू शो मी बाय साइन लैंग्वेज, आई कैन हियर यू।
One,
But
ma'am.
oh, one, अच्छा, I can hear you now. Okay, parietal. No, that one is temporal. I'm talking about parietal. मैं parietal के बारे में बोल रही हूँ, तुम कहाँ पे पॉइंट कर रही हो? वो temporal है। parietal कहाँ पे है? हाँ, कहाँ कितना है parietal? How many? Two. Okay. What about temporal? 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 Okay. How? No. How many? How many temporal? Two. Okay. Occipital? Occipital? How many? You just show me sign language. I can't hear you actually. ऐसे मतलब उंगली दिखाओ कितना है? तुम उंगली दिखाओ, मतलब गिनती करके उंगली दिखाओ। तुम्हारा आवाज सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है मुझे। I can't hear your voice. You just show me sign language. Occipital, occipital. How many?
One,
Okay.
one.
Okay, very good. Okay, so these are the lobes of the brain. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, you have two. Temporal lobe, you also have two. And the next is occipital lobe, which you have one. So these are the lobes of the brain. I hope none of you will forget. Okay, so let us discuss about the first lobe, which is the frontal lobe. So the frontal lobe, you have one. So the frontal lobe, what does it do? They maintain your personality, how you behave, your emotions, happy, sad, and so on. No? So in that way, they help us. I mean, they guide us that way. And next is judgment. Judgment in the sense like whether it's right, wrong, correct, incorrect, and so on. So these are the judgment that you will find in the frontal lobe, right? Next is planning. When you try to do something, no? When you try to do something, when you plan something, maybe for your future, or else maybe for the plan, like anything, whatever plan you are making. So who helps you in that? The frontal lobe helps you in that. Next is problem solving. You can even solve problem because of the frontal lobe, which is located or situated at the front. And next is speech. So even in speaking, when you speak, no, which is I mean, when you speak and as well as when you write, you speak as well as you write. So who helps you in doing that? The frontal lobe, which is in the brockets area. It is also known as the brockets area. All right, BROCA apostrophe S, brockets area. So the frontal lobe, I mean, because of the frontal lobe, you are able to speak as well as write it, which is in the broca's area, also known as the frontal lobe. Okay, next is the body movement. You can also move your body, that is mobility. You can say that, yeah, mobility. Mobility means moving from here to there, right? So it means that. So the frontal lobe helps you in doing that. Next is intelligence, like how intelligent you are, like not only in terms of education, but also in terms of maybe something like maybe games or like anything. All right, it might not be only in terms of academic field. Next is concentration. Concentration is the same thing. If like concentration in something. So it means that. Next is self-awareness. Self-awareness means you are aware of something. I'll give you one example, which is like in the current situation, we are under this pandemic. No, means before, I mean, the COVID-19. So in order to prevent yourself, in order to not get this COVID-19, so how are you like what to say, preventing yourself? How are you safeguarding yourself? Like you are wearing mask, you are applying sanitizer, so that you are avoiding the public places, public areas, like distance from each other. So in that way, like you are aware of something. So that's why I mean the frontal lobe helps you in doing that. Is it clear, everyone, about the frontal lobe?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? No problem. No problem. Okay, then. If no doubts, then Titus, tell me about the frontal lobe. Just now we have discussed, na? Titus, 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 Taiyang. Tell me about the frontal lobe. Just now we have discussed. अभी अभी हम लोगों ने discuss किया है frontal lobe के बारे में. तो बोलो. बोलो at least 2 points बोलो. You tell me at least 2 points.
Personality,
अच्छा.
behavior, emotional,
हाँ.
and judgment,
Okay.
planning, problem solving,
Okay. And I have mentioned one area, na, which is in the frontal lobe, which helps you in writing as well as speaking. So what is the name of that area? मैंने एक
area,
हाँ फिर से बोलो, you repeat again.
area, ma'am.
Can you please spell it? Spelling उसका spelling spell करो.
BROCA,
BROCA. After that,
C, okay,
हाँ. BROC. After that, brockets, no?
CA,
हाँ. After that,
apostrophe S, ma'am.
apostrophe S. Okay. Okay, good. So it is known as the brockets area. Okay. Okay, next is the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe, you have 2 parietal lobes. So the parietal lobe, what is the function of the parietal lobe? The function is that interprets language. Interprets language means what? Like if somebody is speaking in some other language, say for example now, in the current situation, like I'm talking with you all in English, not in your mother tongue, but still you are able to understand me. It's not it. So it means that interprets language, like it automatically translates. It automatically translates and you like understand what I am saying, all right? And as well as what you are also saying, I'm able to understand that. But it doesn't mean that you will know the foreign language, like which are not familiar to you. Understand what you don't understand at all. So it's not like that. So interprets language, it means that, and as well as words, some words which we speak or which we write and so on. So who helps you in doing all these things? The parietal lobe. Understand? The parietal lobe, they helps you in doing all those. Next is sense of touch. Sense of touch means if you touch something, say for example, you have touched some ice cubes. So what will you feel if you touch an ice cube? अगर तुम एक बर्फ बर्फ ना छूने से तुम्हें क्या महसूस होगा? कैसे कैसे मतलब कैसा फीलिंग होगा? कैसे महसूस होगा? एनीवन? आइस क्यूब्स, अमीश, अमीश, limbu, amish. I think I'm audible. Amish, answer me. Amish, what happened? Other students, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Manisha, you tell me. How will you?
Ma'am, it will feel cold.
You will
Cold.
feel cold. Yes, that is the sense of touch. It's not it like you are sensing something. So that what? How you will feel? You will feel cold. So who is responsible for that? The parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is responsible for that thing. Is it clear? Next is pain. You can also feel the pain. You can also, I mean, if somebody touch, I mean, if somebody slaps you or if somebody, I means anything. If somebody box you, slap you, anything, like you will be able to feel the pain. Okay, so the parietal lobe helps you in feeling that, sensing that. Next is temperature. It is also known as sensory strip. So the temperature, feeling hot, cold, warm, and so on, chill. So all these things, the parietal lobe helps you in knowing all those things. Is it clear? Next is interpret signals from vision, and it is also known as spatial. So it is also known as visualizing and reasoning and visual perception. So the meaning is same thing. Understand? All these interpret signs from vision, spatial, visualizing and reasoning and visual perception is the same thing. What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that by by just viewing the scenario, no? By just viewing the scenario, you will be able to relate with that. You will be able to understand what is happening or what's going around. It means that. Understand? So who helps in doing that? The parietal lobe. The parietal lobe helps you in doing all those activities. Next is uh, hearing. You can hear me now. So the parietal lobe helps you in doing that. Motor, same thing. Motor, body movement and so on. And memory, even your memory. Also, you memorize something. It's not it. So who helps you in doing that? The parietal lobe. The parietal lobe helps you in doing all those activities. Is it clear, everyone, about the parietal lobe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is occipital lobe. So in the occipital lobe, what will you find? In the occipital lobe, you will find one, all right, which is at the back side. So the occipital lobe helps you in what? Interprets vision. Interprets vision means what? Like whatever you are viewing, whatever you are seeing, you will be able to just understand. Say for example, color. You are able to know. It's not that this is purple, this is yellow, this is blue, this is orange. You are able to know it. That is because that is because of what? Because of the occipital lobe. Next is light. Uh, I mean, just the light that you see, no? Every day. So you are able to know that whether it's nighttime, daytime, afternoon time. So you are able to understand. Just by the light also. Next is movement. Movement, same thing. Like if somebody is running, means everything, anything. If somebody moves and all that, you are just able to know it because of what? Because of the occipital lobe. Is it clear about the occipital lobe, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next is the temporal lobe. So the temporal lobe, you have got two, one side and the another one is the other side. So the temporal lobe, they helps you in what? The temporal lobe, they helps you in understanding language, like whatever language a third person, second person is speaking, you are able to just understand that. So it is in which area? I mean, the temporal lobe it's in the Wernicke's area. Wernicke Wernicke's area. All right. So the temporal lobe helps you in understanding the different language. Next is memory. So same thing. I mean, the temporal lobe also helps you in memorizing something. Next is hearing. You can also hear because of the temporal lobe. Why? Because we have discussed now in the sensory organs, like the ears are also curved. I mean, it's underneath the ears. So it's all related. It's all related with that. So the temporal lobe also plays a part in the hearing purpose, the hearing activity. Next is sequencing. Sequencing means what? Like if you arrange something, sequencing and organization is the same thing. Sequentially means what? If you arrange some particular object or anything, like if you arrange something, what happens? Obviously, we'll arrange it accordingly. It's not it. Say for example, I'll take you all as an example. If I want to report, or else if I want to submit the report to Dean Ma'am, like whoever have appeared the exam, that is their first sessional exam. So how will I report? I will report in such a way that it will be according to your enrollment number wise. I mean, accordingly. It's not like enrollment number 1, enrollment number 2, 3, like that. I won't submit to her like enrollment number 56 first, then again 1, then again 16. It's not it. So I will submit accordingly. So it means that, or else sequentially, in a sequence way, or else in an organized manner. So who is the, I mean, who helps you in doing all those things? Your temporal lobe. Is it clear, everyone, about the temporal lobe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you understand, everyone? Why only one student is responding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Siti, okay. So these two are the area which we were talking about, which is the brockets area. This one, which lies at the where? Which area? Front, temporal, which lobe? Brockets area? Huh?
Frontal lobe, ma'am.
Yes, frontal. Next is the Wernicke's area. What was the name of the lobe? Wernicke's area? Huh?
Temporal lobe.
Yes, temporal lobe. Okay, very good. Okay, let us discuss about the cranial nerves. So, in your brain, you will also find the cranial nerves. So, the brain, what does it do? The brain, they communicates. They communicates with what? With the body. They communicates with your body. Through where? Through the spinal cord. You have got in the central nervous system, right? CNS, the brain and the spinal cord. So, I mean, they are the main character, or else you can say they are the main lead in performing all these activities. And in the cranial nerves, you have got 12 cranial nerves. All right. And the cranial nerves, you have to write in Roman name, or else in Roman numerical name, or else Roman numbers. So you have to write like that. Roman number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is it clear? So why it is written? Because the Romans, so the Romans, they first found out this. So that's why it is. It should be written in the Roman numbers, or else the Roman numbers. Is it clear about the cranial nerves, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm? Okay. Okay, can you see this cranial nerve, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the names of the cranial nerves. All right, 12 are there. 12 जन है cranial nerves पे, और हम लोग cranial nerves रोमन numbers में लिखते हैं. ठीक है, 1 2 3 जो होता है ना, वो न्यूमेरिकल नंबर्स, वैसा मत लिखो, वैसा लिखने से गलत हो जाएगा. और ये कैसा लिखना है, ये सीरियली लिखना है. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं कि ये 5 नंबर आगे लाना है और ये 12 नंबर सबसे आगे, ऐसा नहीं है. ठीक है, जैसा है वैसा ही लिखना पड़ेगा. यू शुड राइट अकॉर्डिंगली, यू शुड राइट एग्जैक्टली, एंड यू शुड मेमोराइज दिस. Can you hear me, students? Okay, actually,
Yes,
I'm having some network issues, that's why. Okay, so okay, so the first number, the first cranial nerves is olfactory nerves. So with the help of the olfactory nerves, what can you do? You can smell whether the smell is good, bad, or else stinky, anything. The odor, the smell is good or not. You can sense it with the help of the olfactory nerves, which is situated in your nose. This one, nose, all right? In the nose, it is situated. Next is the optic nerves. The second cranial nerves is the optic nerves. So with the help of the optic nerves, what can you do? We can see, sight, all right? This one. Can you see this? Everyone, optic. Can you see or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Ma'am,
with the help of the optic nerves, you can what? Sight. Sight means see. The third cranial nerve is oculomotor nerve. All right, oculomotor. So oculomotor means oculomotor nerves. With the help of this, what can you do? You can move your eyes. That is your pupil. All right, pupil. Pupil is what? The eyeball. You can move your eyeball from here to there, left, right, upward, downward, and so on, which lies in your eyes. Same thing, oculomotor nerves also, it lies in your eyes. Okay, the fourth cranial nerves is trochlear nerves. Trochlear nerves. So the trochlear nerves also same, you will find in your eyes. So the trochlear nerves, which portion does it move? Your eye muscle. In your eyes, under your eyes also you have got some muscles. So the trochlear nerves helps you in moving that. The fifth cranial nerves is trigeminal nerves. So the trigeminal nerves, where they are situated in your face as well as in your head. All right, trigeminal nerves. So the trigeminal nerves, they help you in sensing what? Face and head sensation, like you are having headache or a face, if somebody touch you, slap you, anything. So you'll be able to sense that. All right. Next, the sixth cranial nerves is abducent nerves. So abducent nerves means, Kyoda, you can mute yourself. Abducent nerves is what? Abducent nerves also is same thing. It lies in your eyes. So it helps in moving your eyes, which is abduction. Do you remember that they have some abduction and adduction? Do you remember? Abduction means
Yes, ma'am.
I've shown you one example also.
Eyes moving away from the center, ma'am.
Yes, exactly. Abduction in general, na, you just know that in anatomy it's very common. I mean, abduction. Abduction means if you move away from the center object. Say, for example, wait, can you see me? Am I visible? Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Say, for example, I'm doing like this. I mean, this is the center, na? This is the center. This is my body, and this is my arms or else my hand. So I'm moving like this. So what is this? Abduction or adduction? What will it be? Abduction or adduction? What will it be? I'm moving.
Abduction, ma'am.
Yes, abduction. And I'm doing like this now. I mean, my arms are moving closer to the center I mean, to my body. So how will it be? I mean, what will be called, what it will be termed as,
Abduction, ma'am.
what?
Adduction.
Adduction. Okay, very good. So you please know the meaning of that. All right. Abduction means far from the center point. Adduction means you are adding something. All right. Like, I mean, you are moving closer. It means that. So your eyes also, it will move from the center point. Okay. I hope you understood. Okay. Next, the seventh cranial nerves is facial nerves. It lies in the face. So as well as your tongue portion. We have already discussed this one also. So the facial nerves, they helps in what? Moving your, I mean, they helps in facial expression as well as taste buds. We have discussed in the sensory system and else the sensory organs, the taste buds in your tongue. You will also find the facial nerves out there. You can sense the, I mean, whether it's sweet, salty, bitter, and so on. And as well as you can also it helps you in making some facial expressions. That is the facial nerves. Okay, the eighth cranial nerves is vestibulocochlear nerves. It is in your ears. तुम लोग का कान पे है ये vestibulocochlear nerves. So the vestibulocochlear nerves helps in what? They help you in hearing as well as balancing. I mean, when you hear something, it makes you, it goes inside your ears in such a way that it will be balanced, where it won't be too loud, it won't be too soft, like that. All right, it means that. Next is the ninth cranial nerves, that is glossopharyngeal nerves. So the glossopharyngeal nerves, it is the ninth, you'll find here. Right, means somewhat in your chin portion. In your chin portion, here you will find the glossopharyngeal nerves. So the glossopharyngeal nerves, it lies in the salivary glands. That is taste. You can also taste something with the help of the with the help of the glossopharyngeal nerves, as well as you can also swallow as well as gag reflex. I mean, whatever you will insert, no, like the edible things, it will just open automatically. It means that. Okay, the ninth is the vagus nerve. The vagus nerves, it lies in your heart as well as in your GIT. So it helps you in what? The vagus nerves, heart rate, pumping the blood, and as digestion. They also take a role. They also take a part in the digestive system. The 11th is the accessory nerves. So the accessory nerves, this one, this is the accessory nerves. It lies in your neck portion. All right, तुम लोग का गर्दन पे है ये accessory nerves. तो ये accessory nerves कैसे मदद करता है? तुम लोग का सर जो है इधर उधर घूमने के लिए मदद करता है. It helps you in moving your head, that is here to there. The last, the 12 cranial nerves is hypoglossal nerves. So this is the hypoglossal nerves. It lies here in your, a bit upside of your chin. All right, downside of your chin, I mean to say that. Here, this one. So the glossopharyngeal nerves, they help in moving your tongue. When you speak, when you eat, when you swallow, or in all those things, they help you. So these are the 12 cranial nerves. Is it clear, everyone? I hope it's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll ask you in the next class. All right, the 12 cranial nerves. So you please read and come. I mean, next class doesn't mean in the afternoon class. I mean, when anatomy class will be there again, I'll ask you. Okay, then that's all for today's class. Thank you, everyone.